City are still alive here. Balotelli, Aguero! Special beyond special.
Best player in the Premier League.
Captain Marvel. Drogba! Rooney!
Oh, wonderful!
That is one Derby diamond.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's match day.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Clash of Clubs. This is episode 53. I'm Dylan, alongside Mila and Garnt. We're going to talk about Spuds today and continue our Premier League summer previews before getting to United later in the week. And I think that pretty much does it for our little series here before the Premier League starts, because it's crazy that it starts in, a couple weeks here? 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Yeah. But before we get into that fun stuff
Maybe
and
3.
transfer news, promo, please like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff if you like this stuff. We also post on social medias, and we're looking to get to 100 subscribers. So like, comment, share, turn on your notification bells, all that fun jazz. And let's jump into it. So Spurs suck.
Beat you.
Yikes. Yeah, Grant, what do you I don't even know how you want to tackle this amazing summer window so far that's seen them sign 2 players and permanent make
Hanko and Tell were both made permanent. They also brought in I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name, but his first name is Luka, 18-year-old Croatian center back, I believe. He looked pretty good in preseason. So that's a positive. I think Kudus is a really good get. Multiple clubs who I think had a better year last year, also in the Champions League. We're going after him. I think Chelsea were definitely involved in that. Weren't able to get him. Spurs were able to get that transfer over the line despite West Ham's best efforts. But I think that's a good marquee signing. But other than that, they really haven't done much business. I think you're banking a lot on Thomas Frank. Again, we think of him as just like a floor raiser. We're just going to think that he can come in, work with what's there, and get them at least stable. I think maybe if they're sitting 8th and fighting in the Champions League, probably get to that round of 32. But yeah, I don't really know what to expect from them early on. I think we're gonna see what Frank's made of. I guess I think that can really sway things, but I still think the midfield raises a lot of questions. You're asking a lot out of really young players, in my opinion. I don't think they really have a 6. Basuma, Bentancur, I don't love either of them. Basuma on his day, though. But I think there's still work to be done. I think it's going to be difficult, but captains might be leaving. There's still more to be done, but I think there's more questions than answers right now.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say. Kudus as a complementary piece to a window as a whole makes a lot of sense to me. Him being your only signing makes no sense to me. I just don't think that was necessarily like the biggest hole in their side. Like you were saying, like they've needed midfielders and Madison hasn't been available. I don't think through the first couple of preseason games here that Kudus has even played through the middle. So I just struggle to understand kind of where they're at here in this process. Like you bring in a new manager, you're going to back him with one signing and the signings you brought in for Postecoglou. I think it just surrounds me with more question marks.
Spurs. I don't think Gibbs White was a tough one to lose out on. I think that whatever that situation was, I still don't think we'll get the full story for a short while. But I think unfortunate for Tottenham not to be able to get that over the line. But yeah, I do think I rate Kudus higher than you guys. I know we've had this conversation off camera a million times. Me and Mila just disagree very strongly on this one. I do think Kudus is a good player. I think he's a really good player. I think he'll do well there regardless. I think his versatility, again, he was forced out on the left a bit at West Ham too. He still was able to make things happen. I think being surrounded by more quality will help him. I think we'll see more from him output-wise because of it. But again, Son probably about to leave from what it looks like. I mean, that's your captain. He's been there over a decade. I do think he was already beginning to slow down. I think from a footballing sense, this makes sense for both parties. but it's still just a gaping hole in the locker room. Also on the field, obviously, he still has output, regardless of where he's at in his career. But
I think
yeah,
these
go ahead.
I think these maybe outgoings are a big issue with them right now because they're big names in the squad. It's Romero could be going for big money, and it's Son who is a big part of the squad, whether he's playing or not. So that probably plays into like what they're thinking in the transfer market. But I do
1 year left.
What's up?
1 year left on his contract, so that's something that needs to be taken care of.
Mm-hmm. I just think like if Romero goes, that's a big gaping hole that they're gonna have to fill. But hopefully they get the money for it. But that seems very up in the air right now. So
Oh
I
yeah,
think a lot is relying on that.
Man, this is just tough. I just don't know how you can essentially go into the season with the same squad plus a couple of young guys with UCL after finishing in 17th. Like, I don't know if we're grasping how awful that is. Like, they literally finished.
I don't know how they
one
even won that final.
No, and they won it on the day, and that's why they got UCL. But then, shouldn't you be showing ambition to then go and get players? Like they're not
Tottenham.
linked, but that doesn't matter. I get it's Tottenham, and I've talked a lot of shit on Levy. I think he's terrible. I proves that he is. We can just jump into it because I think it goes to what you're saying. Like, how do you fuck up a release clause?
The
It's a
tampering
release.
or whatever it was.
They literally.
Well, at the end of the day, it just comes down to what the player wants. If the player didn't want to go, then the release clause
He
doesn't
said,
mean
"Nah."
anything. Yeah,
Tottenham.
he
I
backed
mean,
out of this for
we
whatever
got a
reason.
here we
it
go.
did.
The medical was scheduled, so I think he agreed. He agreed to go.
Yeah,
he
and
can
then
back out
Nottingham
at any
Forest
point.
threatened
And,
legal
yeah.
action after the
yeah.
fact. So I think that's the story. That's what we
Legal
have.
action for what though?
The
I
way
think-
they found the release clause. So apparently, like no one was supposed to know about that. Like the only way they could have known about that is if they tapped him up or did something. They violated some rule to find the release clause. So that's the whole stick up. But yeah, re-signing is crazy. That whole video was crazy.
Yeah.
Weird.
I didn't
was
look
crazy.
at that and think that he looks thrilled to be there. I mean, look, even if it is Spurs, like it's still a big money move, and he gets to be the man on a team that has a new manager, and he gets Champions League football. For him to come back to a club that's not going to have that and could potentially just go back to being mid-table form next season, like, yikes.
He's got
Yikes.
Thursday nights. He's got Thursday nights in Europe.
Yeah, that's not Champions League though. We all know that. Like,
Conference
it's
League's
not
pretty
the
big
same.
competition.
It's just it's mind-boggling to me
It's
that
crazy.
and I know that we make the jokes of like it's Spurs, like it's not even a joke at this point. Like they're just poorly run, and for Nottingham to be able to have a case big enough to where this totally gets voided and then he signs a new contract is fucking ludicrous.
I lean more towards just the unlucky side of things on this one in particular. I do think all in all what you're saying is true, but like it happened to us with Elise 2 years ago. We paid his release clause. It was pretty close, and then he re-signed. So sometimes stuff happens, but I think your sentiment's still in the right place where it's still being ran as a for-profit business. You absolutely lucked out by ending up in the Champions League this year. You needed to take advantage of it, especially with getting rid of the manager, which I agree with the decision. But you really need to. This is a huge mulligan. Okay, we can get this right now. And I think they're just kind of letting time pass them. Again, it's a lack of ambition. We always throw the word around, but I think Kudus was a big signing, and it came pretty early on in the window, and then it just really died down. The Gibbs White back-to-back, we really thought something was going on over there, but ever since, they just kind of back down almost or reassessing their list. Who knows?
This isn't Liverpool, in my opinion. Like that's the way that this feels. Like it feels like Liverpool's window last year where it's just like, I guess we'll just sit on our hands and we'll let the manager kind of figure it out. Like,
Liverpool won the league.
They won the league, but they also had inherited a good team and a good side. This is not a good side, and it hasn't been healthy for 2 seasons. And like the idea that I think that this team is magically going to click and be healthy all season is like, I don't know.
I think their health will be better.
A lot of that, yeah.
I think their health's going to be better.
Down to the way Ange was running the team. So
yeah.
I think that's probably the game plan. I mean,
yeah, but now they're going into UCL. I will just jump into UCL now because I don't know
how they play. I think it's not necessarily how many games. It's the the way that they're pressing in these games, the way that they operate is going to be different.
Yeah, I think Frank suits the UCL style play though. Like every time Brentford would come up against a big team, they'd give them problems, even if they didn't end up winning the game. Every big team, there's a really good game plan put in place, and Brentford typically were able to execute. Now he's going to have higher quality across the pitch, and now he has time to game plan. He has all this film on all these teams he's going to go play. I think Tottenham will have a sneaky little run in the cup competitions, including the Champions League. I still think quality will prevail, but I do think the style of play is suited more for a cup competition than just, going through 38 games, because Brentford do have their dips in form. Like, we love praising them when they were on their highs, but they do have their lows. But I think he suits cup competitions.
I have serious concerns with Frank and not necessarily his style, but just this is a massive jump. And I think the perception around Tottenham is that they're still not a bigger club. Like, I think that we give them the Big Six title and most people see them on the bottom of that totem pole. But like, jumping from Brentford to Spurs in the UCL is such a massive thing to do. I'm sitting here and I'm stuck with like this.
My manager did it last year with less and a bigger club. Obviously, it wasn't the UCL yet, but he jumped in, steered a tough ship that was in wakey waters.
Completely different situation. That's a completely
where did Ange come from? Like, I think
where did Ange come from?
Ange came from some.
But Ange has this like, he has a certain level of like, it's or is the wrong word. Proxy is probably a better word.
Moxie.
Sorry, Moxie is a better
Frank's
word. Like,
got it too. He's hot.
Nah, I don't know. I sit here and I struggle to think that he's the
you
difference.
See Potter.
Like,
you see Potter in there a bit.
Yeah, I just think that if it doesn't go right in the beginning,
paths.
And also they just haven't given him anybody. Like, if you look at the managers that have succeeded in coming from smaller sides, they've given him a lot of money. And like Postecoglou got a bunch of money when he first came in. Like, he's gotten one signing. Like, I'm not going to count Danso and Tell because they were there last season. That wasn't new for Frank. That concerns me. I think that you're giving, it's similar to what United did with Amorim. Like, if you give a manager one signing, like, you can see how it goes down pretty quickly. Like, you're setting him up to fail is kind of what I think. And I don't trust Levy to make any signings. They haven't been linked to anyone since this Morgan Gibbs White news broke. They're shell-shocked.
I'm not as worried about it. Oh, what you got, Mila?
They're linked to Rodrigo.
Oh, right.
That got shut down quick. Rodrigo's team.
I know.
Shut it
They
down.
were linked.
I'm not as worried about it. I don't know. Because I see it almost as like you'll get Potter.
I'm with Graham.
It's too big. The job's too big for you. And if it doesn't get clicking early, it all falls apart really quickly. They don't have the character for it. And then the other side of it, you get, again, not the same situation. A Maresca or a Slot. They walk into the job and they understand it. They understand what they're walking into. And again, I'm not going to compare Frank to them tactically, but I think he does have enough of an understanding of the league. I think he'll be able to do a good job. But to your point, Dylan, me thinking he's going to do a good job, that comes relative with how Spurs finish this window. So if they don't do anything, in my eyes, depending on how it looks, they might finish 7th, 8th, and I'd be like, yeah, he did a good job. So to your point, that very well can happen. I don't think they want to miss Europe.
No, and that's the thing is UCL becomes the priority in a season that I think, and this is what I was saying, like during our preview of the finals, like whatever team doesn't make it, like then loses this final, will automatically be forced to focus on the Premier League. And that might be a good thing to a certain extent, right? Like the money aspect of it would have been helpful. But like, here's the thing, like Spurs isn't using the money. So what does that do for you when you're trying to build a project?
You saw the concert over there. I think Kendrick was there recently. They got money. They're just saving it, reinvesting. That's what they're doing with the money.
They lost Kane and then they replaced it with Solanke. And then it's like, I don't trust Levy to make this team better.
No.
That's the issue.
No, of course not. I'm just, I guess, you know what? I should have stated at the beginning, the way I'm talking is if like, oh, they can reach great heights. Like I'm seeing like the top of this in terms of how I'm talking about this. Oh, like they finished 3rd. You know what I mean? So I guess that's my fault for not clarifying that early on. Like, I just don't see it because of your point. I don't think he's going to do anything different. I think it stems all the way to the top. So It's a good point.
Okay, so let's run through quickly what we think their lineup's going to look like. Obviously, Frank likes this like 4-3-3, 4-2, 4-3
4-2-3-1.
or 4-2-3-1 type of
You
thing.
ain't messing
I
around
just
with it.
putting it in a 4-3-3. It's easier. We
Yeah.
can shuffle it around as we go. Solanke and
Solanke's up top.
striker.
I think the back line's pretty straightforward too. I mean,
Yeah,
Porro, Romero, Van de Ven,
Yeah.
Udogie, Jed Spence. The light will shine on you one day at a different club.
Vicario,
Porro.
all of them. It's mainly it's the midfield and wingers that we have to debate about.
Yeah, because
I think there's a lot of room for debate.
Oda
And
Bears
then
barely played.
This is Udogie.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Udogie.
Is it a UDO?
Yeah.
Yep.
There it is. And then I mean,
I think
I think
they got a double
Bergvall's.
pivot
So I think Bergvall's in
out of
there. I think
possession.
Bergvall's in that midfield.
I agree.
Put him on the left. I don't think he's going to be the holding.
Bergvall and
Berg.
Does Archie
probably
Gray
have to be. I don't think he'd start, but he'll definitely make his way to
Bergvall's
the
your
team.
8.
Yeah, I think he's
Okay.
better there.
This is the
Oh,
issue.
throw Vicario in. Throw Vicario in.
VIC.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just
Nope,
one.
just one.
There it is.
All right.
Okay. So this is where I run into issues with this side because you can either go attacking, right? And you can put in Madison here, or you can go back to this like double pivot 6-8 thing that they've been doing with Bentancur and one of Sar and Bissouma.
I think
Just
Bergvall and
based
Madison
off what
can
he
work
did at
together in it.
Brentford, I
You
don't
think
see
he's gonna-
Madison being in that central area, honestly.
So you think
As
it's
a 6?
Bentancur?
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought Mila said he wanted him as the 6. Yeah.
no,
It probably is Bentancur. A-N. Yeah.
Bentancur.
I think Madison
but I
can still
think
go
like
on
him
that.
and Bergvall like a little deeper, honestly.
Yeah, Bergvall can drop in if he needs to. He can. I think he can box to
It
box.
might be Madison.
Yeah, I think it
Madison
can be.
could be. Yeah.
And he does like that Damsgaard
Well,
role.
Kulusevski's got to be in the team too, but he can probably go on the right, even though I think
TDs.
he's really good
2Ds.
centrally. But he has to be in the lineup.
Madison, when he's healthy, is like
yeah.
No, I meant
He got-
Kulusevski.
I mean, it could also be
Kulusevski's gotta be
Kulu
in
though. I
Ben-
think that's what makes it hard.
wasn't Ben Johnson their leading scorer last season?
Brennan Johnson was, yeah.
Yeah, I think Kulusevski's
I don't
probably
even know
their
if he makes
best quality attacker in
So
the
it's
team.
Kulu here.
Yeah, but again,
and
I
then-
think there's a lot of fluidity. But
Kudus.
yeah, Kudus has to be in there too. What the fuck? They're only
yeah.
signing. Well, here we go, guys.
This
Yeah,
is-
I think the attack has a lot of
It's not
weird
awful,
profiles that I
honestly.
don't know how to put together. Like, I think Brennan Johnson deserves
Probably
to
more
be in the
this.
team, but we can't get him in here. Richarlison, they spent a bunch of money. I think that's a lost cause. Tell, they just got in. I think he plays a part here, but I don't know where. So I think that's
probably at that.
that's the
impact
big
double,
thing.
right?
because I think there's a lot of quality in these players. I just don't know how to make it work. I don't understand it. I can't really get it optimized in my head.
That's the thing is I can't figure out what their perfect starting 11 is, and no, I don't think any manager for a while for Spurs has really been able to like pinpoint it.
They need
Since
a
probably
6 bad.
college?
Once I'm seeing it
to
out
a
here, it's so obvious. The back line, if it stays healthy, and again now you have a little bit of cover, but that back line looks good. The attack, again, you have quality. You just need that structure in the middle. You need a good spine, and I think that's what it's going to come down to. Maybe these teenagers get their chance, and maybe they're worth it. Maybe they're already just ready to go. But I don't know. I don't think that's going to be the case given the team they just played in last year. They're looking around. It's the same guys. Like, what's going to change?
I know that there was some links to Paulinho for a little bit.
That'd be a decent signing,
proven
actually.
GM, like, I don't
Value-wise,
hate it.
just bring him in. Bring a body in that can be a proper six.
No, look, if they spend the money, I can
Defensive-minded.
change my opinion. We're recording this, 2 weeks before the season, but that's the thing is like I don't trust Levy to do it because I think he's horseshit.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Nah, it is a we'll see.
We will see. I think Frank can do a lot with a little, though. So that's why
Agreed.
I'm not
We'll see in that
too
prediction
worried for
video,
him.
right?
Yeah, right.
In the predictions video, boys.
That's gonna be like 2 episodes. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Talking of
What
shit,
people want for that?
you guys want to speak on some shit?
What's
Some
the
terrible
shit, though?
shit? These fucking losers. I want to talk about these losers because they're losers. Such big,
This sucks.
massive, stinky, poopy losers. Look, dude, if you're gonna call somebody's bluff, like you better fucking pay up if you don't call it right. And like Liverpool called their bluff, and then they sat there and got their pants pulled down, and now Isak is probably on his way to Liverpool because it's the only destination that realistically can afford him / need him. And
That's
now
the only
they're
team he
stuck,
wants.
and it's the only team that he wants. And now what are they stuck with? Potentially C.O.C, who if United come bidding, it sounds like he'll just go there. Like this is
If they don't get Sheshko, that'll be the cherry on top. That'll be the cherry on top if they don't get him. But that also means that Isak might not go. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's happening. It's tough. It's really tough. I mean, we talk a lot about it. And I think it's a big talking point throughout the season. Everyone's talking. They're gunning for Champions League. It's such an achievement to get into the Champions League. I kind of said it lightly a month and a half ago, but like a team like Newcastle, they can't tell anybody, hey, we got Champions League. Like you need to consistently achieve that to be able to use that as your pitch. The only teams that can do it right now are Man City, Arsenal, and I think Liverpool just because they won the league too. They only missed out for a year. But Newcastle, the pitch, it's not strong enough. You know, even Sheshko, if he goes United, I think up north that's a factor. But if United were to get him, it really brings the question back to the front of the table. But fuck, man, like they got nobody. Poor Langa, he probably thought somebody else would be there with him. But yeah, to let Liverpool get Ekitike, and now they're gonna go get Isak too, just cause. Man, that's scary. That's really bad. I hope United stay football. They buy Sheshko, Jackson. They don't meet the valuation, and they just hold on to Isak hostage for a year. And then Madrid realize they need a striker. They get Isak, just to save us all. Because if they spend 95 million euros on a striker and then break the transfer record for the second time in this window, that's another player that they broke the record on, not the 95 million euro striker. To get him, dude, I think it's a wrap if that happens, and it probably is going to happen.
We talked about it.
Yeah.
It makes them runaway favorites, like on paper.
Nah, on Twitter.
I don't know, bro. If he stays fit,
even if he doesn't, they have his backup playing left wing.
Yeah, that too. With Mo Salah next to him, I think barring fitness, they've got a few question marks. I agree. I think Frimpong, he played as a winger in their preseason game, so maybe he's not going to be the right back. Maybe it's just Connor Bradley. There's questions there, no doubt, for the future with their center backs. Another question to be raised, but short term this year, if everyone's fit, I think they have it.
I'm not gonna have them in first in our prediction video. I can tell you
of
that
course.
much.
I understand
that. We've talked about it. They've skewed all attacking options, and that's I think not necessarily the way that they should have approached the window. Like, look, they had the opportunity to go get these guys, and that's why they're doing it. They seem more dangerous in cup competitions to me than they do in the Premier League. I think that they're going to come up against teams that are going to sit super deep. Because even if you want to sit back and, or teams are going to sit back with 10 men, like there's going to be games where they pump them for 6. There's also going to be games where they're going to really struggle. Mm-hmm. And then the other team's going to hit them on the counter. Like AC Milan, I know that they were playing a decently mixed side, but like they carved through them a couple times pretty easily. And I think that can potentially have some issues if they're gonna play Frimpong and Kirkes together. Like they're a very attacking side. I think there could be games where it gets kind of messed up defensively.
Yeah, I think it does look very attacking on paper. I don't personally put too much stock into preseason, but again, you can definitely see certain things throughout the games, irregardless. I don't know. I think you make a perfect point. Cup competitions suit them because that's really where it just comes down to match winners. Like who's going to make something happen and put us over the top. Like we saw what Yamal was doing and the narratives that came from that. Like when you show up in the Champions League like that, tailor-made for this type of team almost. But even still, I just think they already kind of understand what they're doing after a year under Slot and winning the league, and now you just throw more talent in it. I do agree, maybe not the best fitting team together, but I think in certain cases the talent can override that, and unfortunately, I kind of lean to the logic of that being the case here.
Okay, but also you have to consider, like, to the point of what Dylan's saying and how attacking they're going, and if you buy into anything about the Konate rumors to Madrid,
I'm into it.
that's a lot of pressure on an aging Van Dijk's shoulder to be basically the only person known for their defensive capabilities in the squad.
Yeah.
I don't see that panning out. I think he's just going to be overwhelmed. If he's surrounded with a couple more defenders, like we said they should have done to even out the team a little bit, then I could totally see some success coming out of that. But putting all that pressure defensively on Van Dijk and the midfield that saw that little bit of struggle towards the end of last season, I think there's definitely room to capitalize on that for the rest of the league. So back to your guys' point, cup competitions, yeah, they might be able to just outscore people in cup competitions, but they could also get exposed for these in those situations.
Yeah, good point on the center backs. I think that's important business they need to get done. I still think they'll probably go into at least get one defender in. Seeing what they've been up to this window, it wouldn't be surprising if they brought in two, maybe even three. I don't know. I do think that they're probably going to end up being a little more defensive than we think they're going to be. But again, on paper, it totally looks like a high-flying team. When I think of how Slot really like wants his football to be played, it's controlled, right? Like he's the one even coming out and saying it. Yeah, I mean Jurgen plays similar, but I like a little more control. The transfer business says otherwise, so I'm sure he had input. Obviously, again, he's not going to say no to players of this quality, but I do think there's a plan, and I think they're going to figure it out pretty quickly. Unfortunately, it's not what I want. Realistically, I want to come in and gas like a sneaky Chelsea campaign to the top, but that my gut's telling me Liverpool are going to get it figured out.
Yeah, I mentally and physically can't allow myself to get to that point, so I'm just not going to let it happen.
That. Yeah.
I can say that they're runaway favorites, and then come this time at the end of the season, I can bash them for not being Premier League winners. It's all about agendas. That's what I've learned. So if I can be right about this one, then I'll save all my other agendas. Because
I tried to do it in a more subtle way, but no.
You're right. Like I said, they're runaway favorites if they make this signing. Like they signed two players for like close to 300 million euros. They should be. They're gonna get fucking destroyed on the counter. I'm waiting for it. I'm excited.
We didn't even talk about Allison's predictions last year.
Going off. Don't care.
Yeah, fuck them. I hate talking about them, and it's been the worst part about this summer.
The thing I've hated the most is that they're still wearing the Nike jerseys from last year because the contract ends the end of this month, and like Verts is wearing like number 58. That's the type of stuff that pisses me off.
But well, they're not a real club. Remember, they're a small club. They really need that money. They really need that Nike.
Bro, we're so paid. We don't need a sponsor on our shirt.
No,
it's unnecessary. Look, this is the only other thing we need on our shirt, right there.
Trust me,
we need the money still.
Club, they don't spend money. They just sit there and they sit on their hands and they just
they've smashed it this summer. Fair play, fair fucking play.
Yeah,
well, if it works out,
we'll have a
judgment.
Hey, we won the window the past few summers. We didn't win any real trophies, so hopefully that stays the same with whoever wins the window this summer. It won't, but
it won't. But I don't got anything left to say. We're gonna have probably a longer episode on Wednesday because it's United, and I like United, and there's too much to talk about with them all the time. So
I've got things to say too.
I know you do. It's gonna. There's the potential for me to crash out somewhere in between there. So
I'll get on a call with Mila after this, and we'll plot.
I'm a little too giddy currently about United, so I need a crashing down to
Thanks
earth,
for the information.
So, yeah, I'm a little too excited, to say the least. But
I'll figure out.
we'll save that excitement for the next one. But you guys good to end it?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Spurs suck. Newcastle suck. Liverpool suck. I'm Dylan. That's Mila. Grant's below me. This has been episode 53, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Two words for him. Different gravy. Glorious goal. Wreathed in red. We're really seeing the most extraordinary finish here. On this day of days, has he delivered? Just magnificent. Potentially life-changing. That's football. Minute you let it under your skin, then you begin to make it better.